Hello, Leatherneck fans, and welcome inside Salee Hall for this week's edition of Leatherneck Insider. I'm Cody Gill.
And I'm Nathaniel Rogers. We'll start off this week with our TSSR Game Time Live Athlete of the Week. Leatherneck Insider reporter Patrick Cummings spoke with this week's winner.
Hello everyone, welcome to our TSSR Game Time Live Athlete of the Week. I'm joined here by Toriano Tate. Toriano, what does it mean to you to win Athlete of the Week?
It means a lot to me, considering the fact that I had one of the top 5 players in NCAA in Mia, so I'm just thankful for whoever voted for me, and it feels great.
All right. Now, recently you captured the conference title. How does that feel to capture the title?
It feels great. I haven't won the title since my freshman year, so coming around my senior year and making it happen with some great coaches in Tamira and LaRon and Coach Jeffries, it means a lot to me. All right. And thank you to them.
All right, and our final question is, what made you get into track and field?
My older brother actually did long jump since, and he's like my biggest mentor when it comes to sports. So him doing track, and he also did football, got me into football, and did both here for a little bit. So I think he's my biggest mentor, and he's the whole reason why I do sports, period.
All right. Yep. This is Patrick Cummings for Leatherneck Insider. Thank you, Toriano.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Patrick, and congrats to Toriano Tate for being this week's winner.
Let's head over to the hardwood, take a look at the women's final home game of the regular season. After a win over SIUE on the road to clinch the #1 overall seed in the OVC tournament and a share of the regular season conference championship, the women's basketball team returned home to Western Hall to face off against Lindenwood in an attempt to stay undefeated at home. We'll start off here in the first quarter with Brownfield over in the corner. She tries to get around her defender, but settles to give him the ball to Reed, who drives in for the tough layup. Move over into the second quarter now of action on the defensive side of the ball with OVC Defensive Player of the Year Addie Brownfield getting the steal and starting a fast break. She passes over to Davis, who lays it in, cuts the lead down to 8 for Lindenwood. Now moving into the second half, third quarter of play, and the Leathernecks are still down 9. Shetley makes the cross-court pass to Brownfield. She dribbles her way through her defender, gets fouled, but still able to put in for the and one opportunity. Now we're moving into the fourth quarter, where most of the drama happened. We'll start early on with Meadows on the inbound, making the pass to Mia Nicastro, works her magic around the defender, and lays in to cut the lead down to 12. A couple minutes later, Meadows on the fast break, can't get it to go, but Brownfield with the rebound dishes it out to Nicastro. Pull up, three-pointer, she knocks it home, cut the lead down to 5 for Lindenwood. Leathernecks down 9, re-driving it down the court, decides to give it to Nicastro for another three-pointer. She gets that one to go as well, cutting the lead down to 6. With 5 seconds left, the Leathernecks are down by 1 and need a basket to win. Reed gives it to Nicastro for the fadeaway, but just off the mark, and despite Brownfield getting the rebound, the Leathernecks are unable to get another shot off and fall by 1 point. Regardless, they're still co-season champions and retain the #1 seed in the OVC tournament. Mia Nicastro and Addie Brownfield were selected for the all-conference first team, with Mia Nicastro being selected as the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, and Addie Brownfield being selected as the co-defensive Player of the Year. Furthermore, Mallory Shetley was selected to the all-newcomer team, and head coach J.D. Gravina was selected as the Ohio Valley Conference Coach of the Year. Congratulations to the WIU women's basketball team on their regular season accomplishments.
Before the Leathernecks traveled to Evansville, WIU women's basketball player Addie Brownfield gave her thoughts on the team's recent co-OVC regular season championship. Leatherneck Insider reporter Patrick Cummings has more.
The WIU women's basketball team recently won the co-OVC regular season championship, and a big part of this accomplishment was superstar Addie Brownfield.
Oh, it just feels absolutely amazing. You know, it's been 4 years in the making, and to get it done my senior year, I think that's just something that's truly special, you know, getting to go out with one of the best seasons in Western history. We worked so hard for it, and so to finally see it all come together is just really special.
Not only did Brownfield help the Leathernecks clinch a OVC tournament berth, but also won Defensive Player of the Year and earned a spot on the OVC first team.
Yeah, you know, I think that's an award that more so speaks to our team defense, you know. I'm guarding the best player on the team, but I can't do it without my other teammates being so good in help defense, getting in the gaps, switching screens when need to. So, you know, just shout out to them for that. And again, I'm going to give it my all on the floor for my team, whatever that needs to be, whether that be defense, rebounding, getting a bucket, whatever. So it definitely feels good to kind of get that shout out, and it should feel good to the rest of our team too.
Brownfield then talks about how her leadership role has changed ever since Reagan McCowan's injury in December of 2025.
I don't think my role as a leader changed much. Maybe being a little bit more vocal on the court, but overall more so I think my role as a leader changed as it being my senior year. My last year wanting it to definitely be the best one, so just making sure that I took accountability as a leader and stepping up in that role for the team.
Having played all 4 of her collegiate careers here at WIU, Brownfield talks about her favorite moment playing for Western Illinois.
I would have to say, even though we lost by 1 point, the last Lindenwood game that we just had for senior night. The rest of the team did such a good job for senior night, like decorating the locker room, getting us gifts, and then we just had like a big celebration after with the net cutting ceremony and whatnot. So even though it was a tough loss, the environment here was awesome. Like, it's definitely a day I'm never going to forget. And then we got to celebrate with all the families after, all our families and friends. So that would definitely be my favorite moment.
This is Patrick Cummings reporting from Leatherneck Insider.
Thanks, Patrick, and congratulations to Addie Brownfield and the Leathernecks for an amazing season.
We'll head to a short break, but when we come back, we wrap up with the women's basketball talk with the OVC tournament, as well as some Women's History Month facts from WIU.
Larry used to come over to watch the games. After his wife passed, he started drinking a lot. Larry just stayed to himself, angry. He started acting differently. I wasn't going to pretend I didn't see him unraveling. Larry had guns around, and I didn't want anything bad to happen. So I contacted the local authorities for help. It was a tough call. Together, we pressed pause. Our local authorities filed a firearm restraining order to temporarily remove the guns. Larry had time to get help, and later, he got his guns back. It wasn't easy, but we're a community. We keep our neighbors and ourselves from harm. By temporarily removing a gun, a firearm restraining order gives a person in crisis time to heal. Learn more at illinois.gov/pause to heal.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. This puts them at increased risk for type 2 diabetes, heart attack, and kidney disease. The good news? Prediabetes can be reversed. Follow along with this 1-minute risk test to learn your risk for prediabetes. Are you over 40? That's 1 point. Over 50? That's another. Over 60? Add 1 more. If you're a man, give yourself a point. Family history of diabetes? Add a point. Have high blood pressure? Add another. Not physically active? That's a point. Are you slightly overweight? That's 1 point. Pretty overweight? That's 2. Very overweight? That's 3. A score of 5 or more means you likely have prediabetes, so talk with your doctor. Learn how you can change the outcome at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back. This weekend, Leatherneck Insider had 4 of their reporters, including myself, go to Evansville, Indiana to cover the OVC basketball tournament for the women's basketball team. Glenn Novak gives you an update of what happened.
Thanks, guys. And today we were able to witness history at the Ford Center. Your Western Illinois Leathernecks beat the Lindenwood Lions 71-65 to win the OVC tournament and clinch a spot into March Madness. An historic sight to see, but it was thanks to the likes of Mallory Shetley and Allie Meadows. When Mia DeCastro was getting double-teamed, they were the 2 players that they relied on to get the key points in the game. And on a side note, we did see Mia DeCastro go down with an ankle injury, but she was quickly able to get wrapped up and was back in the game within a few minutes. And we were able to witness history as your Fighting Leathernecks are going to the dance.
Thank you, Glenn, for that recap. And with that, the women's basketball team will now punch their ticket into the March Madness for the first time since 2016. And now we'll send it over to Grace Sighthammer for her segment, about Women's History Month and Western Illinois University.
Thanks, Nathaniel. This week we will be highlighting Lori Myers-Potter, the first official woman to compete in national collegiate athletics from Western Illinois University. After Title IX was passed into law in 1972, Potters was the first female athlete to compete in the national track and field competition as a part of the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women. During her time at Western Illinois, Potters also competed in cross country and field hockey from 1973 to 1977. After her athletic career at Western, she coached track and field from 1975 to 1977. The Rockford native was inducted into the WIU Athletics Hall of Fame in 1989. Potters was an example at the time for young women at Western Illinois and is now regarded as a pioneer. We now see many other women competing in track and field like Malia Huston and Colleen Grenert, who both had podium finishes at the OVC Indoor Championship. We hope to highlight other famous female athletes from Western Illinois who helped pave the way for current athletics in their respective sports.
It's time for another short break, and when we return, we've got some Leatherneck tennis and baseball. You won't want to miss it.
Our story began with a spark that started on the prairies of Western Illinois. From a bell tower which stood as a new beacon of knowledge for all to see, to the cranes that swing over campus today, advancing our vision to inspire, educate, and lead. That spark ignited a legacy of students using their talents and perseverance to make the world a better place in ways big and small. In this 125th year, we celebrate the remarkable journey of Western Illinois University, a milestone marked by dedication, boundless ambition, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. We have pushed the envelope far beyond what our founders could have imagined. We have broken new ground, set records, and made discoveries. Whatever challenges we have faced over the years, we grow stronger from them and evolve. We remain devoted to our fighting Leatherneck spirit, the spirit of the underdog that fuels creativity, generosity, and determination. Leathernecks can be found in communities across the state, the country, and the world, doing their part to be a positive force wherever they go. Today, in Macomb and the Quad Cities, students from all walks of life meet to share ideas and aspirations. Our students bring new perspectives and aim to be part of something bigger than themselves. The Leatherneck legacy lives inside these walls and in all of us. Together, we are marching on.
Welcome back to Leatherneck Insider. Western Illinois women's tennis player Mana Fawcett talked to Leatherneck Insider reporter Glenn Novak about the team's recent struggles and how she began playing as a freshman.
I recently had the chance to talk to women's tennis player Mana Fawcett about her relationship with her head coach, Luke Ogren.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with Coach. Coach did a great job of recruiting last year. I would say we have 6 starters and 3 were freshmen last year. So, yeah, he did a great job of recruiting. It feels nice to know that I'm not the only one, that, we had a big recruiting class. So I have a lot of girls that are like my sisters at this point. We're in the same stage in school, same stage in tennis, and we're going to go through all 4 years together. And that's kind of a great feeling to have, right? For sure, Coach, he has a lot of trust in us, but I think that we also have a lot of trust in each other, and that combo is what's making us successful.
Fawcett also talked about recent struggles with the tennis team.
Yeah, that's a good question. We've definitely had a few tough weeks, a lot of 4-3 losses, and I think we've just been playing good teams, so it's hard to compare how our success has been early this season with teams that are out of the conference but have been really strong and have put up really good results versus teams in our conference that are doing the same thing. They're playing out of conference and they're playing really tough opponents. So it's really hard to tell you how we're going to do in conference, but of course how we're preparing, we're training hard, we're trying to improve ourselves. We just had a meeting after practice yesterday, and we were just trying to talk about team goals, what we want to do, and one of the things that I said was that we should always be looking to improve something every single day, because come conference we're going to be better than everybody. So yeah, I definitely feel like it's been a rough start to the season, but we've been competitive in all our matches against good opponents. So I think that's a positive that we can take out of it, and going into conference, we just have to be confident in ourselves.
Reporting from Leatherneck Insider, I'm Glenn Novak.
Thanks, Glenn. The women's tennis team will return to action on March 14th when they play the University of Southern Indiana at home.
The WIU men's basketball team did not have the season they had hoped for, but a bright spot on the team was true freshman guard Makai Kavami. My partner Nathaniel Rogers had the opportunity to speak with him about the season.
Makai Kavami had a great start to his collegiate career. I was able to speak with him about his first season and what he learned.
One thing that I learned about myself this season is that I could fight through adversity. Coming from a program in high school where we rarely lost, coming off of 3 state championships, I was used to winning. So this season, we had a tough season, but I just learned how to keep moving on and keep supporting my teammates even through our losses.
I then asked for some of the differences between high school and Division I basketball.
I'd for sure say the physicality. As I showed up, I noticed that everyone was much stronger and bigger. Also the size, like the centers especially. In high school, they're on average probably like 6'5", but in college, it'd be lucky to have a 6'9" or 6'8" guy. They're all usually taller. And another thing I'd say that changed was the depth of the teams. In high school, there's mainly like 2 or 3 main guys that can actually play, but in Division I, everyone's D1, so everyone could play at a pretty high level.
Throughout this season's basketball productions, I noticed his family was at every game, so I had to ask him how that felt.
It means a lot. I think they missed, I had someone at every game except one this year, away game, so it really means a lot, knowing that people are supporting me. It just motivates me and wants me to keep pushing harder because I'm playing for more than myself. I'm playing for the people that are supporting me.
I then asked what he plans on working on this offseason.
I'd say definitely my shooting and still getting in the weight room. I didn't shoot it too well from the three-pointer or free throws this year, so I'm just going to stay on the gun on the off-season, keep working on my free throws, and then I'm also going to continue to lift every day because I need to get stronger.
Reporting for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Nathaniel Rogers.
Thanks, Nathaniel, and have a great offseason, Makai.
The Western Illinois baseball team faced off against the St. Louis University Billikens at the Billiken Sports Center this past Tuesday in a low-scoring affair. The game went into extras, tied at 2 apiece, but the first baseman Liam Bushy in the top of the 10th behind in the count 0-2 belted a solo home run deep into right field. The Leathernecks went on to win 3-2. Pitcher Eric Rawlings got the win for the Leathernecks, pitching a shutout in the final 3 innings while striking out 4. The Leatherneck staff on the day had 13 strikeouts and just 2 walks, and every pitcher had at least 1 strikeout. The Leathernecks travel to Champaign to take on the Fighting Illini on Tuesday. Then they'll begin an unconventional 4-game series with the Redbirds on Thursday. They'll start here in Macomb for the first 2, then they'll travel to Normal for the last 2. Good luck, Necks. The Olympics might have ended, but baseball's Olympics are just getting started. The World Baseball Classic takes place from March 4th until the 17th, with 20 countries competing. Cody, who do you have winning it all?
Well, Nathaniel, you might be able to call me a homer. I'm going to go ahead and pick the United States. This might be the best lineup the United States constructed since the WBC has been a thing. Obviously, the Dominican Republic and Japan are always tough contenders, Japan winning last year, but I like the USA this year.
Yeah, that's going to be a fierce competition, I should say, and I think top 3 finishing teams will probably be the Dominican Republic, Japan, and hopefully the United States of America.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Leatherneck Insider. Be sure to stay connected on socials at Insider WIU. For our entire crew, I'm Nathaniel Rogers.
And I'm Cody Gill. Have a great week, Leatherneck Nation.